lot easier to keep people out of trouble than to pull them out of trouble. And the purpose of the book is to allow them to see an idea of how to prevent the injuries or how to prevent themselves from getting a disease, getting injured, being tired, whatever it may be. That's why we wrote the book.
Very interesting. You mentioned health coaching. Can you tell us a little bit about what health coaching is and what that means?
Sure. At least as we apply it. Health coaching to us is really a strategic partnership between the physician and the patient. Mm-hmm. And what we do, we bring people in, we do detailed consults, very comprehensive exams, run enough objective data that we have a really good picture of what's happening with that person. Mm-hmm. Then we apply a strategy to get them better, whatever it may be. Again, it might be a shoulder injury, it might be headaches, it might be neck pain, or it might be some other functional conditions. But we then lay out a program for them to follow, and what we use objective data to make sure that what we're doing is actually working, as opposed to like, hey Leo, are you feeling better? Right. Sure, I feel better. Well, okay, what does that mean? Exactly. It doesn't mean that you're getting better, it just means that maybe we're masking the symptoms somehow, because sometimes we do that, right? So we want to see the objective data go in the right direction, but it also allows us to hold each other accountable. Mm-hmm. So you get to be accountable, you get to be accountable to me, because I'm going to ask you to do certain things. And then we're going to track that, and we're going to make sure, using objective data, that you're doing those things. Mm-hmm. And then I'm accountable to you, because what happens is, if I'm asking you to do these things, and you're not getting better, then you want to know why. Right. So then I'm accountable to say, well, what we're doing actually isn't right. And quite honestly, I reserve the right to be wrong, because I'm not perfect, and neither are you, and neither is any physician or non-physician out there. Right. So the purpose is for you to hold me accountable, so that if we're not getting the results that we're looking for, then we change gears. We shift direction a little bit, and then we keep applying it until we find out really what works best for, let's say, Leo Goikman.
Why don't you tell us some things we need to know about increasing performance and keeping ourselves healthy in our day-to-day activities?
Okay, so what we've come up with is an acronym, and it's real basic. It's just be healthy. So these are the things that people need to do every single day to be healthy individuals. But this applies to the athlete. This applies to, again, to the everyday person. It's not about just performing at a very high level, but if you think about performing at a very high level, you can think of the elite athlete, you can think of the track stars and the basketball stars or the volleyball stars or whatever, but you also want to look at the people around you that really are healthy individuals, but they're not healthy because they're 18, right. They're healthy because, and they're 40 and they're 50 and they're 60 years old. So those are elite performers to me also. So the acronym Be Healthy, it basically goes like this. The first one is just, the B stands for be engaged. Understand your body, understand what's happening with it, understand the difference between pain and soreness, be alert to what's going on around you, just be engaged, right? The second one is eat well, okay? Food is inflammatory. And so people think, to be healthy, it's really easy, diet and exercise. What does that mean, right? Diet and exercise. Yeah. So I eat whole wheat bread instead of white bread. Well, neither is good for you, but nobody takes into account. So they read the next book, or they do the next thing, and it's the next diet, I want to lose weight and all that. Well, food's inflammatory, so you need to know that. You need to understand how food works in the body, how you digest it, how you assimilate it, how you get rid of the waste product. All of those are important, and quite honestly, every individual is different. Mm-hmm. So you need to know really how to eat well. H, healthy habits, right? But habits in general, we're creatures of habit, right? So I wake up every day at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I get up and I brush my teeth and I do this and this. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to create habits, just make them good ones, and you need to know how to plan your day to do that, and how that works. And it sounds a whole lot easier than it is. Absolutely true. But if you're going to create habits, just make them good ones. The next E stands for elimination. Okay, so elimination, most people think of elimination as, okay, get all the bad stuff out of my body. Right. Okay, that's true, you're supposed to do that. But it also means eliminating bad relationships in your lives, or eliminating the things that don't help you as a person get better, right? So let's take a coach. Let's say you have a coach that doesn't really click with you. They scream and yell and throw their arms up and they intimidate you. Well, that's the wrong coach. You need to be encouraged. So that's okay. That coach might be an elite coach who gets 90% of their kids or their athletes to just start them. Fantastic. But if it doesn't work for you, then eliminate that aspect and go to something that actually works better for you. Same with your doctor, right? And I really truly believe this. If you don't fit with your doctor, if they're not listening to you, if you don't feel comfortable with them, fire them. You're allowed to. We actually work for you. So it's a matter of, okay, I don't know if I like that. I don't know if this works for me. I'm going to go try somebody else. And that's totally okay. And I tell all my patients that with me or with other physicians in my office, whatever it may be. A is activity, right? Be active. It doesn't mean you have to go run a marathon. It doesn't mean you have to go to the gym. It doesn't have to mean you pump weights. It means that you just have to live an active lifestyle. Garden, cut your grass. I don't care what you do. Quite honestly, whatever you enjoy, but you got to get your body moving. L is for liquids. We're chronically dehydrated in this country. So rule of thumb is, ounces of body weight. What? I don't even know what that is. I couldn't even tell you what that saying is. You know what? Drink 96 ounces of water a day. There was a study out there that said you don't have to drink 64 ounces of water. That's a myth, and it just doesn't work. And at the end, and it was published in the newspapers. And at the end of this article, it said you should take in as much water as you excrete every day, 64 ounces. So it was boggling to me why they would say drinking 64 ounces is a myth, and then at the end of the article is drink 64 ounces of water. But really, you got to push that up because we're so chronically dehydrated. Get it up there. Liquids are not, it does not mean caffeine. It doesn't mean coffee. It doesn't mean tea. It doesn't mean soda. Sodas, no. It doesn't mean any of those things. It means 96 ounces of water. So get your liquids in. The T there is thinking. Everything comes, there's a great author out there, Napoleon Hill, passed away a long time ago, wrote a great book called Think and Grow Rich. And the first words of that book are, thoughts are things. They're tangible things. So you have to put your brain there. You have to know what you're going for. You have to think about it. You have to visualize it. You have to do all these great things, and it helps quite a bit. H is you got to let your body heal. If you do get injured, if you are sick, if you have a disease, whatever it may be, take a break, take a deep breath, and you have to let your body heal. If you don't do that and you just keep pushing through it, basically it just leads to chronic injuries, chronic disease. Right. That leads to all kinds of bad things. The last Y is not a Y. It's actually the word why, and it's why and comply is what I say. So the why is if you're in a doctor's visit, challenge that doctor. Why are you putting me on this medication? As a chiropractor, why are you putting me on this regimen of care? What's the purpose behind it? What does it do? Like ask all those questions. And if you don't get the right answers, or if they're too busy for you, then go to a different doctor, fire them. You know, same with me, fire me. Because you need to have those answers, because quite honestly, I'm not Leo, right? I don't have to walk home with neck pain, back pain, headaches, digestive disorders, autoimmune disorders. Like, that's not me. You have to deal with that. So it's your responsible to get that information. But once you get that information and you're comfortable and you respect that physician or that advice, you have to comply with that. Okay. So if I tell you to do X and you say, whatever, well, you can't expect to get better, right? So you really have to comply once you get the Y satisfied to your liking.
Absolutely eye-opening and incredible. I really want to thank you for your time. But, you know, I also happen to know with the release of your book, a lot of people have been trying to get the attention of Dr. Mitchell. A lot of people have been trying to come see you and get care from you. And finally, you have found a way to make that possible for the individuals that have been standing in line, hoping that you'll open your door to new patients. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you have done to make the spots available for people to come and see you and work with you personally?
Well, Leo, what we're doing today is we're taking our normal consult and comprehensive exam, which is typically about $500, and we're knocking it down to $99 today. But it's only for the people watching this interview, and it's only for a very limited time. We have only so many spots in our office, and once they're full, until we get a bigger spot, we're working at capacity. So that's what we're doing today.
Is there a number they can call?
Sure. You know, the best way to get in is to call the office. And our front desk receptionists, they're just fantastic. They'll do everything and anything possible to get you in. But the number's 224-535-8707, and just let them know that you saw this interview, and they'll do their absolute best to get you in as quickly and as effectively as possible, and that's what we'll do.
Excellent. So that's 224-535-8707, and they just have to mention that they saw this interview and that they want to take you up on the $99 offer. Is that correct?
That's it. That's
Okay.
what we're doing.
Well, Dr. Mitchell, again, I want to thank you so much for joining us here. This has been absolutely incredible, eye-opening, and I know you are going to help out a tremendous amount of people. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Great. Thanks, man. Appreciate
you.
it.